We'll talk about Salah a bit more because we always do on these podcasts because he demands it. Both he and Trent were nominated for December Player of the Month. To give some numbers for Salah in particular, 7 goals and 7 assists in December alone, joint most goal contributions in a single calendar month since Luis Suarez in December 2013, and that was an incredible month. I can remember that one very well as well. He's now going on to the realms of not just a great season, not just the world's best player at the moment, but this is shaping up to be, possibly the best individual season in Premier League history. I think he's already got 8 different games where he's scored and assisted, which is already less than halfway into his own season, more than anyone's got over a 38-game season. By far the quickest to 30 goal involvements, well on course to smash that record, which is Shearer and Cole actually hold that record jointly at the moment. Again, I know we've said it so many times, and I know it's hard not to repeat ourselves about how good this is, but these sorts of a different incredible stat is coming up every single week, and he's on course to be, one of the greatest Premier League seasons of all time from one of the best Premier League players of all time.
Yeah, it's quite funny actually, the kind of the new record that comes up every week, and you're kind of fascinated by how he's managing to do that every single time he takes the pitch. It's just, but the fact that he's doing that just kind of speaks to how good this is. It's record-breaking stuff that he's doing, and he has been doing it for years and years. But as you say, even this season seems to have kind of kicked up a level and could be on for even his own best season in the Liverpool shirt, which didn't seem possible when he had that 44-goal season a while back. So just crazy numbers. One thing you want to say is kind of credit to the manager as well, who I think has just recognised that there was possibly more you could get out of Mo Salah, and that if you just funnel all the shooting opportunities or the majority of them through him, then more will end up in the back of the net than don't. So, and I think that's a really smart piece of management in terms of how they continually get Mo Salah in position. I mean, you have 6 or 7 shots against West Ham. I think that gives you a good idea of, if you keep shooting at that rate, you are going to score goals, and he's a great shot getter, and the system works for him in that regard. But I mean, his overall impact it goes far beyond that, because he's also getting those assist numbers as well. And I mean, he will be eyeing up surely now that Thierry Henry 24 goals, 20 assists, was it? And that feels within the realms of possibility, because for Liverpool, they're not even at the halfway mark in terms of the games played, because they still have that Everton game. So he's got a lot of opportunity to get there, and touch wood, he's always available as well, which is one of his real superpowers, I think, alongside how good he is. It's the fact that he very, very rarely gets injured. So you just feel confident that there are going to be more records to be broken between now and the end of the season, because he's constantly on the pitch and he's constantly brilliant. So yeah, really, really excited to kind of see where this can go.
And in terms of his future, I know there's no real updates, but PSG's name has started to be bandied about a bit more. Suggestions that they're lining up a lucrative offer for him. Anything in that? Anything for Liverpool fans to be more worried about than they would have been, before PSG's name came back into the mix?
I wouldn't be too concerned about that one yet. I just don't feel that there's any appetite from Mohamed Salah to join PSG at this point. I mean, it's a much weaker league that doesn't get anywhere near the level of coverage, and he's just too good to go there. I think, a few years ago when they were kind of had a slightly different model and would have been more likely to be Champions League contenders, then maybe that would have been an option for him. But I really can't see that being something that's high on his list, and similar to kind of a move to Saudi either. I think he's so desperate and has made it clear that he wants to stay at Liverpool. So, he's clearly given priority to that. It's just a case of, can they make the numbers work? And obviously at the moment, not quite there, but the hope is there's still some time to get it done.
Yeah, I think the concern for me is PSG feels a little bit more viable than Saudi, because we know Salah wants to perform at the top level for a lot longer, can perform at the top level for a lot longer. So I always felt he would, Saudi would be last resort for him. He knows he can go there at any point and earn a lot of money. PSG would still, I know it's a step down from Liverpool in terms of the league they play in every week, but it'd still be able to play in the Champions League. So if they're willing to offer him something a lot closer to what he wants than Liverpool are, that feels a bit more like an option for him and an alternative that would be more up Salah's street than Saudi would.
Yeah, definitely be more appealing. I still think it'd be a distant second to just kind of getting the deal he wants at Liverpool. But as you say, it'd still be Champions League football. He'd be an absolute star over there, wouldn't he? And he would still get that chance to I guess it's a chance to win a different league, and as you say, maybe compete for the Champions League if PSG can kind of sort themselves out a little bit. But as I say, I still think he'd be far down the list, and Liverpool will be aware of that, and they'll be aware that some of these stories will start to circulate now as again pressure's being ramped up from representatives to just try and get Liverpool to do the deal. So yeah, and the thing is, for Liverpool, if they are worried about these stories at all, there's a real simple way of stopping them being on the back pages, which is to get that deal done. So I think we are getting to the point now. We are in January where you need to see one of these getting done soon, because I think big questions are starting to be asked now, and there's pressure on the sporting director, particularly after a kind of quiet summer as well, where the main target was missed out on. The good news of a contract being signed will be, I think, a real boost for them. So yeah, we'd like to see some signs that that's actually going to get done soon.
Yeah, I think I speak for most when I haven't really been too worried at any stage, but I did think at least one would sort of be announced by now and confirmed by now. I think Van Dijk being probably the most obvious one, and the one I expected to be done by now. But now that we are in January, we are in the January transfer window, this is still dominating the conversation rather than any moves that could potentially be done in January.